The guys in the old days that believed the earth was round must have had a very rough time with academia. 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 The American Psychological Association, people who deal with mental problems, stress, all that sort of thing, as far as I know, have not written books on the effects of environment upon behavior and criticizing the way government operates. It's unsane, and I've never found them to talk about government that way. Maybe they'd lose appropriations if they did, but I don't know whether it's in appropriations or understanding human behavior. I know of no group of psychologists that advocated social change in order to avoid most stresses and most of the problems that people have. I've never known neurologists that laid out a plan for informing people with better methods of evaluation so that they don't have the stresses they have. Therefore, all their books seem to be maps of the brain and what region of the brain controls what pattern of behavior, which is all right, and that anatomically, but does not describe or alleviate problems. Knowing the anatomy of the brain will tell you that a tumor in a given location will cut out speech or visual. That's all good information. But that's not what the Venus Project is about. The Venus Project is about finding solutions or workable ways of influencing people to modify their behavior to fit the circumstances of the world, not the opinions or reactions or emotions of an individual. So when a person says to me, let's have input from the scientific community, the reason I don't go for that, because the scientific community never came up and said, why go to the moon when the earth is falling apart? Let's solve those problems first. They don't participate. They don't seem to suggest a direction. They merely describe the anatomy of the brain, which is all right. I have nothing against it, but they have no direction. I've never known the American Association of Architects to lay out a whole city system. They say the green rooftop, well, the greening of a building does not change society. So the reason I do not seek information from the academic world is because they don't take it far enough. They deal with limited aspects of human behavior and limited functions of the brain. I never came up with ideas because academicians approved it. I came up with them trying to find a working solution. And people would say to me, are there any great people that accept the Venus Project? There's something the matter with them. They have a low self-sufficiency. If the great man says it's a good idea, they'll follow it. I don't want that kind of shit. Do you understand? You say, are there any famous people that accept the Venus Project? Not that I know of. Books that you will then go along, because Einstein said it was okay. What about you?
Okay,
if you understand what I'm talking about, you say it's okay, even though the world doesn't agree with you. The guys in the old days that believed the earth was round must have had a very rough time with academia. I think it was academia that burnt them. It's academia today that can cut you off. That can say the man's completely unqualified, never went to MIT, has no record of achievement in this world. This is all true, but that doesn't mean anything. What means something is that people understand that if you don't take care of the environment, you lose it. That isn't difficult, but it may be. I guess the experts know what they're doing. Let's leave it to politicians. At least they know what they're doing. I don't believe they even know what they're doing. I don't believe they have the slightest idea of what they're doing. I believe they're academicians that believe one opinion is as good as another. Presenting ideas is not the answer. Preparing people's attitude to be able to hear new ideas, so when they listen to you, they say, I don't know enough about the subject to make a decision. I think I'm going back and read up on it and come back next week. Very few people do. do that.